Special thanks to Patreon supporter Owen Brost for making this tutorial possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Scared204 here bringing you another Minecraft Modern Warfare aircraft tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the General Dynamics F-16XL. The General Dynamics F-16XL is a derivative of the F-16 Fighting Falcon with a cranked arrow delta wing. It was originally conceived as a technology demonstrator, later entered in the U.S. Air Force's Enhanced Tactical Fighter competition, but lost to the F-15E Strike Eagle. Several years after the prototypes were shelved, they were turned over to NASA for additional aeronautical research. Both aircraft are currently stored at Edwards Air Force Base. So overall, a pretty interesting aircraft here, and kind of a cool, I guess, what could have been kind of modern variant of the F-16. Obviously, this project did lose out to the F-15E and the F-15EX, which are continuous projects of basically creating a kind of multi-role aircraft for both air superiority and also ground striking capabilities. And this here was basically what the F-16XL was designed to do, have that same kind of capability of basically being able to deliver a sizable payload to the ground, but also be able to maintain air superiority. So overall, pretty cool build, and should be a fun one to add to your worlds if you are looking for some kind of cool, modern, I guess, what could have been fighter and all that fun stuff. Before we go ahead and jump into the tutorial, I do want to go ahead and give a special thanks to Patreon support Owen Brost for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel more than you already do, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video description, where you can go and put a small amount of channel every month, and in doing so earn a vehicle request to your choosing. It really helps support the work I do on my channel, is really greatly appreciated, so again, definitely feel free to check that out. Again, link for that is always going to be in my video descriptions. With that though, let's dive in here to take a look at the F-16XL. Now there were a couple different color schemes for this aircraft. The one we went with is probably kind of closer to what it would have actually looked like. It's very similar to that of the modern F-16s in their color scheme with the two-tone kind of gray colors. But this one here just has a red, white, and blue tail, which kind of makes it stand out, and kind of some blue here that runs through the spine of the aircraft. So just a little bit of touches of some different colors, and kind of, I guess, showing that it is a technology demonstrator and all that stuff rather than it being a full combat aircraft. But obviously you can change the tail color, all that stuff real easy if you wanted to make him look more like it's an actual combat unit. But basically going ahead and jumping in here, we have obviously the front nose here. It's pretty much the whole body really is an F-16. The real difference you're going to have here is really when it comes down to the wings. So if you built my previous F-16, you're going to be pretty much in for the same type of tutorial here. We have the front intake here, nothing too crazy. We didn't have the armaments, so this one here does have a lot more hard points compared to that of the F-16. Normal version, it does have some air-to-air missiles here, probably some AM-9s, and then we also have quite a sizable load rack here for some kind of dummy bombs, and also some missiles here on some side rails on the tips of the wings. So overall about 6 air-to-air missiles and a total of 8 bombs. So definitely a pretty good payload here for this aircraft. Obviously the F-15E is a little bit more of a workhorse in terms of its carrying capacity, but still cool. Then obviously you can see the wings here, basically a delta wing design that has a very kind of gradual slant back, and then it kind of gets into the rear section here. So overall, really cool looking design. It's something really unique, one of those aircraft that you probably really didn't know about or really know too much of, but should make a cool addition to any of your worlds if you're wanting some kind of ultra modern type of feel. Anyways though, without further ado, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer. Alright guys, so moving into our first layer here, we have layer numbers 1 and 2. Now before we go ahead and jump into these layers, I do want to go ahead and mention a few quick things. The first thing being is, if you're completely new to my aircraft tutorials, the way I like to structure these tutorials is I like to do half on camera, half off. What this means is I'm going to be building the entire center line of the build on camera as well as the right side, and then it'll be up to you guys in between layers to copy the right side over to the left side. Both sides are completely symmetrical, so whatever we do on one side will be done on the other, so it kind of makes it a little bit easier in terms of transferring stuff over. In addition, if you do want to build the aircraft landed, there will be a section of the video at the end that will be showing you guys how to mount the landing gear onto the aircraft. We will be building the aircraft completely in flight to begin with, so you will need to make sure that you build this a certain height off the ground. If you are wanting to build this aircraft landed, this next kind of part is for you. As you can see here, we have these iron trapdoors, which are kind of making up our first layer. of layer number 1. You can see here they're sitting on this kind of top side here of this block, so it looks like that. We want 2 blocks up, and then the iron trapdoors are going to come off the side there of that block right there. Very important to make sure that's correct, because when we go back to add the landing gear, if that is not positioned properly, then your aircraft is not going to sit properly on the ground when you go back and add the landing gear. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and continue on. So our first layer here is really simple. It's just going to be a row of 6 of iron trap, or sorry, row of 5, sorry, of iron trapdoors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pay close attention that they are on the top side of the block here, not on the top here, not on the bottom, but just like that, they're going across. We're going to then go to the second and third iron trapdoor from the front, or the front being that way, and we're going to place down 2 more iron trapdoors. At this point in time, that's it for layer 1, and we're going to go ahead and move on up to layer 2. Layer 2 here is going to be an end rod on top of this first iron trapdoor here, a block of concrete, and then we want to go ahead and then take our stone blocks, and we're going to go ahead and build a row of stone that's going to go back a total of 8 blocks down the center. If you're on Java, we're going to go ahead and then place down a row of 4 of pistons. They're going to be upside down like so. If you are not on Java and don't have access to a debug stick, an alternative would be to place down 2 more stone blocks and then 2 more stone top slabs. After we have that done, we're going to go ahead and then place down 1, 2, 3, 4 stone top slabs back, and then an iron trapdoor on the very end. Back on the front here, we're going to place down a black concrete block coming off this one, a stone stair like this, and then an iron trapdoor coming off the side here of the black concrete block. We'll come back to that a little bit later, but if you don't have a debug stick, and actually we can talk about that now, if you're on Java, you can type in the command /give @p Minecraft :debug_stick. So this command right here, and press enter will give you this glowing stick. What you can do is you can left click this iron trapdoor till we get selected open false, and we'll right click it to set it open to true, and it'll lay flat against the black concrete. If you're on a different version of Minecraft that does not have this capability or this feature, you can use a birchwood trapdoor as an alternative. We're going to place down 1 more stone block back, as well as again a iron trapdoor, and our trapdoor closed against the side there, again a birchwood trapdoor as an alternative. After that, we're going to go ahead and place down a stone block with a tripwire hook, and then we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, or rather a little bit less than that. We have our stone block right here, and we're going to go then place down a row of stone stairs going back. So we have our stone block, and it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stone upside down stairs. We'll then take our stone top slabs, go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2 iron trapdoors. After we have that all done there, we want to go ahead and then place down a birchwood fence gate that's going to come off the side of this first iron trapdoor here, and we're going to open that toward the back. We then want to go ahead and continue on with a skeleton skull coming off the fence gate, as well as a birchwood sign on this outer side of the fence gate, and then we're going to go ahead and take our end rods, go back 1, 2, a smooth quartz top slab. Then we're going to go ahead and grab an item frame, as well as some black concrete, and we're going to place down an item frame, black concrete, and a birchwood sign on the side there of that slab. And that's going to complete our first missile there. Our next kind of, I guess, armament or next thing we're going to build here is going to be a dark prismarine top slab coming off that sign there. And then a second top slab back with a zombie head going forward, and the dark liquid sign on the back here. Just a quick side note, also for the item frames and signs being placed in the same block space, that is only going to be accessible on Java. If you're on a version other than Java, you will not be able to place down signs and item frames in the same block space, so you will have to resort to just placing down the item frame and losing out on the sign. Not a huge deal, as this sign is just a little bit of extra detail, but you know, item frame is going to be just fine there. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing we did right here for our other kind of bomb here, so it's just going to go back like this. And again, we're going to go do the same thing. So it's kind of coming off the sign there, going back like so. And then again, one last time here. So you have a total of 4 of these bombs, and they'll be on each side. So basically it looks like this going back. Then we want to go ahead and go to the side here of this iron trapdoor. We're going to skip a space and then place down a quartz top slab. We're going to place down an item frame that's going to be on the backside here, and just like we did up here, we're going to go ahead and place down a black concrete block in the item frame, as well as a birchwood sign on the side of that, again if applicable, and then birchwood signs on the side of the slab. We're going to go ahead and take our end rods. We're going to go ahead and go 2 end rods forward, then a birchwood fence gate. We're going to open that fence gate toward the back there, and we're going to go ahead and then place down a birchwood sign on the side here of the fence gate, as well as a skeleton skull going forward from the fence gate like that for our missile here. Also, for this forward missile here, we can also place down a birchwood sign on this side here of the slab as well, to kind of fill that space in. And once you have that all done, that's pretty much it for this layer. Here's kind of an overview of what it should look like from the top-down view with this layer complete. Overall, pretty simple and easy design so far. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on up to our next layer, which will be layer number 3. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we're moving into layer number 3. For layer 3 to get started with here, we want to go and begin with by going in and placing down a stone block on top of this end rod right here in the front. If you're on Java, we'll place down 3 upside down pistons. If you're not on Java, I would recommend probably placing down 1 and 2 stone top slabs and then a stone upside down stair, which would be sitting like that. Again, that would be an alternative, but if you're on Java, go ahead and place down the pistons. We're going to go then place down 2 stone blocks. Again, an alternative, and then after those 2 stone blocks will be 2 upside down pistons. Again, an alternative to these pistons can be a stone upside down stair, and then a stone top slab coming off the front of the stair like that, lean forward. We're going to go then place down a polished black stone top slab here in the front, and then a dark oak with trapdoor to go ahead and finish that off. Going ahead and going back to this stone block after this piston right here, or the stone top slab, we're going to go ahead and build back an additional row of stone blocks going all the way back toward the rear. This is going to go ahead and go back for a total of 18 blocks, ending on top of this iron trap door from the previous layer. We'll then place down a polished andesite block, a polished upside down stair, and a polished top slab like that going back. Coming off the side of the stair, we're going to place down a skeleton skull, as well as a upside down andesite stair like that on the side. We're going to go then take our stone blocks, and we're going to go forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 stone blocks, followed by 2 andesite walls, and then we're going to place down 1 and 2 stone upside down stairs, like that, leaning toward the front there. After we have that done, we're going to take our stone slabs, and we want to go ahead and place down a row of 1, 2, 3, and then a row of 2 of upside down stairs, so 1, 2. And then we're going to take our skeleton skulls, and we're just going to place down 1 and 2 skeleton skulls on the side there of those pistons or those blocks right there. So that's going to kind of help form our front there. Now after that, we're going to go ahead and then grab an iron trap door. We're going to go and go to this stone top slab here. We're going to place down an iron trap door to the side of it, and then 1 and 2 more trap doors back like that. We then want to take our stone top slabs, running back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 iron trapdoors back. We're going to go and go to the third from last iron trapdoor here. We're going to go ahead and build forward 1, 2, 3 iron trapdoors. And we then want to go ahead and grab our andesite walls. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 andesite walls, and then a light gray stainless pane. We then want to place down 1, 2 iron trapdoors, and then 4 iron trapdoors, and then 1, 2 andesite walls and a light gray stainless pane, and then 2 more iron trapdoors going forward. Now for each one of these sections here, where we have our basically our bombs, we're going to place down a andesite wall and then a light gray stainless pane going forward, and we're going to do this for each one of these dark prismarine slabs, just like this, like that, to go and form our pylons. Now going to the front of the first little pylon here, we're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3 iron trapdoors. We're going to go ahead and then place down 1, 2, then 1, 2 again, and on this section here, we're just going to place down 1. Now after that's done, we want to take our iron trapdoors and go back from this pylon here. We're going to go and build a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then our next row is going to be coming off this pylon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then this next row here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then on our very last outer pylon here, we're going to place down 1 iron trapdoor. And then we're going to go and switch to our stone slabs here. And we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 stone top slabs, and then 2 iron trapdoors going back from those 2 stone top slabs. We're going to go to this side of this inside wall here. We're going to place down an iron trapdoor, and then we're going to go ahead and go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. More, so you have a total of 6 there. Then we want to go ahead and start on the 4th iron trapdoor. We're going to place down an iron trapdoor here to the side, and we're going to then go back 1, 2, 3. And then lastly, we're going to go ahead and just place down 1, 2, 3, just like that for the wings. After that's all done, you're going to go ahead and obviously take what we do on the right side and flip it over to the left side, but this right here is what it should look like from the top-down view with that layer all complete. One thing I would like to go ahead and mention here also is that for Java players, we can also go ahead and grab our debug stick. And for our pistons, they're located here on the rear of the aircraft. So on this kind of bottom section here, we can go ahead and left click until we get selected facing selected extended false, and then we're going to go and just right click and get rid of that wood portion like that to kind of help with the shaping and the gradual slant there of the fuselage. Anyways, though, with that all complete, that's going to wrap up everything we have there for layer number 3, and with that, let's move on to layer number 4. Moving into our next layer here, we have layer number 4. For layer 4 to start with, we're going to go ahead and begin with by placing down a polished blackstone slab on top of this slab here in the front. Then, coming off the dark oak with trapdoor on top of it, we're going to place down a daylight detector, turn that to that night mode so it has that light bluish color, an end rod, and then a chain going forward from it like so. We'll then place down another piston right here. This can be substituted out for a polished blackstone stair with the back this way and then the front kind of going this way. And then a gray concrete block. We're going to go then place down a row of stone, which is in total going to be 6 blocks. And then we're going to go and then take our gray concrete and we're going to go and place down a row of gray concrete going back. This here being a total of 17 blocks. Now, depending on what you guys are doing for the aircraft, if you have this landed, if the engine turned off, nothing really happening, you can have a black concrete block and like a stone button right here to kind of symbolize the engine turned off. If you do want the aircraft flying and the engine on, I would recommend maybe like a glowstone block and then an orange stained glass block in front of it to show the engine, the jet engine on and all that stuff. So again, I'm gonna let you guys mess with that, but again, either the black concrete with a button or a glowstone block and then the orange stained glass right there. So depending on what you're doing or what you're using this aircraft for. Our next row, we're gonna go ahead and go back up to the front here. We're gonna place down a why don't you go ahead and grab ourselves a wither skeleton skull, and we're gonna place on the side here this piston, and also these wither skeleton or those skeleton skulls below. We're also gonna go ahead and just swap over to some wither skeletons, so it should look like that there on both sides. We're gonna go and then place down a light gray, or sorry, a normal gray glass pane going back, an andesite wall, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stone blocks. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 gray concrete blocks back, a polished andesite block, a stone brick wall, and a light gray stained glass pane going back from the stone brick wall. After that's done, going back up to the front here, we're going to place down a tripwire hook on the side of this stone block to both sides. We also want to go ahead and grab ourselves an item frame and also a yellow bed. We're going to place down an item frame here on this block like so, with the yellow bed rotated so that the yellow portion is facing toward the front there. So it's going to be, or actually sorry, toward the wing. So it's going to rotate around, so it's going to be angled and facing toward the wing. And then that's going to be the same thing there on both sides. And then we're just going to go ahead and place down a birchwood sign on the side of it like so. After that's done, we then want to go ahead and place down an iron trapdoor, a daylight detector. Again, we'll turn that to that night mode. And then a polished blackstone slab, followed by a polished blackstone stair. We'll then take our gray concrete, go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 gray concrete blocks back, as well as 2 pistons. An alternative to these pistons can be 2 polished blackstone stairs, like this instead. But again, we'll be using our pistons here. We then want to go ahead and place down a dark polished blackstone slab, a daylight detector, turn that to night mode, and then an iron trapdoor here on the very end. With that all done, continuing on with our wing work here, we're going to go ahead and place down a dark oak with trapdoor here, a daylight detector, turn that to night mode, and then we're going to place down a row of polished blackstone slabs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 polished blackstone slabs. Then taking our daylight detectors, we're going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 daylight detectors. Again, we'll turn these all to that night mode. And then we're going to go ahead and just very simply take our dark oak with trapdoors and go back 1, 2. Our next row here is going to be a dark oak with trapdoor, then a daylight detector, again turn to that night mode. We'll then take our polished blackstone slabs, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 slabs going back. Then our daylight detectors 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn these all to that night mode, and then again our dark oak with trapdoors for a total of 3 back. Next row here is going to be a dark oak with trapdoor here, daylight detector, turn to night mode, 2 polished blackstone slabs, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 daylight detectors, which again will all turn to that night mode. Then we just want to place down 2 more dark oak with trapdoors like that. We're going to place down another dark oak with trapdoor like so, daylight detector, and then we're going to place down additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going back just like that. We'll then turn these all to the night mode like so. Our next row here is going to be a dark oak with trapdoor, which is going to be followed up with a dark oak or a daylight detector. And then we'll take our polished blackstone walls and we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 2 polished blackstone slabs, a daylight detector turned to night mode, and then a dark oak with trapdoor. Also, in this space right here, we are going to place down 4 dark oak with trapdoors, like that. Continuing on, we're going to take our dark oak with trapdoors, and at this point, we're going to basically just place them down on top of the existing iron trapdoors. So that's just going to go ahead and complete the rest there of the wing. Now at this point, I also want to go ahead and mention that we want to go ahead and go to these pistons. We'll use our debug stick the same way we did before. So you're just going to go and use that to get rid of that wood portion to go ahead and create those slants. And same thing will be done on the bottom here for these pistons near the front of the aircraft. After that is all done, the last thing we really have to do here for this layer is to be going ahead and adding this missile here to the side. So we're going to go and grab our materials. It's basically the same exact missile we built on the bottom here of the aircraft, so nothing's really going to be changed about it. It's going to be done with taking our end rods, and we're going to go forward from this dark oak trapdoor, a total of 3 end rods. We then want to go and place down a smooth quartz slab here, then 2 end rods forward, a birchwood fence gate opened up toward the end rod, birchwood sign on the side of the fence gate, and then lastly a skeleton skull, which is going to form the tip here of that missile. We'll also take our item frames, we're going to place them on the back here of the slab, a black concrete block in the item frame, and then birchwood signs on the 2 sides there of the quartz slab where applicable. And once you have that all done, that is going to basically conclude everything we have there for layer number 4 for the build. And again, taking a look at it from the top-down view, this is what we should have for the top-down view. As you can see, it's coming together pretty good. Your main kind of long parts are out of the way. From here on out, the layers should be a lot easier and should be just quicker and quicker until we have the build complete. Anyways, though, let's go ahead and move on to layer number 5. Moving into our next layer, we have layer number 5. For layer 5 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go ahead and place down an iron trapdoor on top of the stone block here, then a daylight detector turned to night mode. We're going to go ahead and place down a row of 5 of black stained glass going back, then a row of 2 of gray concrete. We'll then place down a row of blue concrete, so a total of 8. And then we're going to go ahead and then place down a row of gray concrete again for a total of 7. We'll then place down a polished andesite block, polished andesite stair, and a polished andesite slab to go ahead and finish off that center line. Going back up to the front, we're going to go ahead and place down a iron trapdoor to the side of this daylight detector, a black stained glass pane, and another brick wall, a stone stair like so, a stone slab, a polished black stone slab, then 1, 2, 3 gray concrete, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 polished blackstone stairs, polished andesite stair, and a skeleton skull on the side of that stair. After that is all done, we want to go ahead and then go to the 4th stair from last. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3 item frames on the side here. In those item frames, we're going to go ahead and grab a white bed. We're going to place it on the sides here and rotate it so that they sit horizontally. And then a snowball here in the center. We'll then also take our dark oak signs and we're just going to place them on the fronts here of the stairs, like so. After that is all done right there, that is going to basically complete everything we have there for this layer. Again, make sure both sides get transferred over. And once you have that all done, that is going to wrap up everything there is there for layer 5, and we'll move on to layer number 6. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 6. For layer 6 to start with, we're going to place down an air brick slab on top of that second black stained glass block. 2 black stained glass full blocks back. We're going to go and then place down a piston. This piston can be substituted out with an air brick stair, which would sit like this on the back section here. An air brick slab, and then a daylight detector turned to that night mode. 2 of the warps trapdoors back. We're going to go and then skip 4 spaces, then place down 2 more warp trapdoors. A daylight detector turned to that night mode. A warp slab, another piston, and on both sides of this piston as well, we can grab our warped trapdoors and place them to the sides here. An alternative to the blocks here can be, or instead the piston could be a warp stair. So you can place down a warp stair like this. That would sit right there. Then we're going to place down a row of blue concrete. This in total is going to be a row of 5, followed by a warped top slab on the back here. An item frame, a light gray bed in the item frame facing vertically. And then again, for Java players, we'll place a warp sign on the side of that slab. Also on the 2 sides like this, we'll place down the signs as well. And also 1 more sign going forward, and then 1, 2, and 3 of these trapdoors on the side there closed to lay flat. At this point in time also, we'll take our debug stick here and we can just go ahead and right click that front or that piston there on the vertical stabilizer as that's done, and it'll look like that there for the back. Then for the cockpit, the last things we have to do here is to place down a black stained glass pane here, a light gray stainless pane right there, and then a wither skeleton skull coming off the side of the piston. We'll then right click the piston with our debug stick, and you'll have your cockpit complete like that in the front. With that all done, that's it for layer number 6, and with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our last final layers. Moving on to our next layer, we'll be going ahead and basically just moving into our final layers here, which will be layers 7 through 11. For these layers to get started with here, we're going to go ahead and place down a white concrete block on top of that second blue concrete, and then 1, 2, 3 blocks back. We'll then place down a white stainless pane here on the back, and we'll also take our polished blackstone buttons, and we're going to go ahead and run a row of 4 along the sides there. We're going to go then take our red concrete. We're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3 of red concrete, and then another brick wall. On top here, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 red concrete. Going up again, 1, 2 red concrete. Red stainless paint on the back here. Acacia wood signs wrapped around the sides here of these top blocks like so. And the very last thing here is going to be a redstone repeater on top of that red concrete block. That'll look just like that. And after we have that all done right there, that is going to complete everything we have there for layers 7 through 11. And with that, that is going to complete my tutorial here for the in-flight version of the F-16XL. At this point in time, we will be going ahead and moving on to the landed version. So if you are interested in putting a landing gear on the aircraft, that is what we're going to be going ahead and covering next. But if you are just here for the in-flight model, you are pretty much good to go, and the tutorial is completed. With that though, for the landing gear, let's go ahead and move into our landing gear. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into our landing gear, we'll be going ahead and starting with our front wheel. Our front wheel is going to go in this section right here, in which we're going to go ahead and drop down from this trapdoor here with a block of coal. So it's going to just drop down like this, and then we're going to go ahead and place down a stone brick upstairs stair right there instead of that iron trapdoor there. We'll also delete this iron trapdoor. We're going to go and place down a lever on top of this block here. And then to both sides of the block of coal, we want to go ahead and take this light gray banner design. So it's a light gray banner, black border, black horizontal line for the center. Really simple. I'm not going to go into a loom and show how to make that, but we'll just place this down on both sides of this block of concrete. We'll also take some andesite walls, and we want to go ahead and place down 1, 2, and 3 walls in this location here for these little doors, or the door for the landing gear to come through. And that's going to be it for the front landing gear, and we'll go ahead and now move on to the rear. And lastly, we have our rear landing gear we're going to go ahead and work on next. This is going to be going ahead and going to these 3 stone stairs here. We're going to go ahead and delete those stairs altogether. Now in this space, we're going to go ahead and place down an iron trapdoor in the center, birchwood fence post to both sides. We're going to go ahead and drop down from this fence post with one more kind of going down at an angle like so. And then coming off of this fence post like so, we're going to place down a block and then a skeleton skull. So it's going to kind of sit like this going down. Now coming off this fence post, we're going to go down at an angle again, place down a black coal block and then a lever coming off the side of it like so. We're also going to place down a light gray banner, just like that, coming off of the side of that block of coal. Lastly here for the doors, really simple, we're just going to go ahead and place down 3 upside down stone stairs in this section here. So we have 1, 2, 3, just like that for that landing gear. And that right there is going to pretty much complete what we have going on there. And you'll just take that same design for that rear landing gear and copy it over to the other side. Once you have that all done though, that is going to complete everything we have here for layer number, or not layers, but the landing gear. And with that, that's going to complete our in-flight model for the F-16XL. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put it to good use. If you do use this build, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for it. This could be linked from a sign the build, link to my channel, or this video if this does appear your social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for your freezer for a project you guys are working on. Overall, enjoy the build, have fun with it, and all that fun stuff. Again, big special thanks to Patreon supporter Owen Brost for making this tutorial possible. And as always, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions. With that though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Garrett 2x4, and I'll see you guys next time.